Students, welcome to your social studies class. Myself Shilpi Srivastava, your social studies teacher for today. In our last video, we had started the chapter Landforms of the World. Let's take the chapter further. Plateaus. A plateau is a flat, elevated landform that rises sharply above the surrounding area on at least one side. It's saying that at least it doesn't mean that it can't be upheld from the other sides, but it uh, has to be rises up sharply at least from one side. Thus, an area of fairly level high ground because it is above the level of the earth are called the plateaus. The other name of plateau is tableland. The examples of plateaus are the Deccan Plateau in South India covers almost the entire Indian peninsula.
Fairly leveled highland areas among steep slopes of surrounding hills. These are raised, flat-surfaced areas bounded on one or more sides by cliffs or steep slopes. Some plateaus are the Tibetan Plateau, the Antarctica Plateau, and the Deccan Plateau of India. The Tibetan Plateau is the highest and the largest plateau of the world. It is also called the roof of the world. Low plateaus are good farming areas, while high plateaus are good for livestock grazing. Many high plateaus are barren like a desert.
Plains. The other form of landform is plains. A plain is a flat, sweeping landmass that generally does not change much in elevation, means they are flat lands with gentle slopes. Plains occurs as lowland along the valleys or on the doorstep of mountains as coastal plains. Crops grows well here as rivers flowing from the mountains bring fertile soil to these plains. Plains are thickly populated area in the world. For example, the northern plains of India, the prairies of the south of the US.
Vast stretches of open grasslands drained by rivers. These are found inland and along the coasts. The soil is fertile. Plains are rich in forests and farmlands. Coastal plains are located along the sea coasts, and many of these are popular tourist spots.
Deserts. Deserts are the large, extremely dry area of land with sparse vegetation, very less amount of vegetation. Deserts have extreme temperature. In summers, the days are hot and the nights are cold, while in winters, the days are cool and the nights are very cold. For example, the biggest desert in the world is the Sahara Desert in North Africa. There are also cold deserts. These deserts are the regions having permanent cold weather, so they are where very little life exists over there. For example, the Antarctica. Now, let's study the important deserts of the world. Those are the Sahara Desert in North Africa, It is the biggest desert in the world, which I have already told. The Kalahari Desert in southern Africa, the Atacama Desert in South America, and the Thar Desert in India.
Very dry areas. These are wide areas that get very little or no rainfall. Deserts are of two types, that is, hot or cold. The Thar Desert in India is a hot desert. The Gobi Desert in Mongolia and China is an example of a cold desert. Deserts can have rocky or sandy surfaces. The Tibetan Plateau has a rocky surface, whereas the Thar is an example of a sandy desert. Atacama Desert in South America is the world's driest desert.
Coast, peninsula, bays, and islands. A place where land meets the sea is called a coast. The other name of coast is coastline or seashore, or a line that forms the boundary between the land and the ocean are called the coast. Look over here. The land is meeting the ocean, and this line is called the coastline. Is having western coastline as well as western coastline as well as eastern coastline. Peninsula. Peninsula is a piece of land that is almost entirely surrounded by water. It's a piece of land, look over here, land, and it's entirely surrounded by water, but is connected to the mainland on one side. Mainland, this is the mainland, and it is connected with the mainland from one side. While a cape is connected to the mainland by a larger mass of land. Look over here. This is also surrounded by water from three sides. In the picture, look, you can see. But it is connected with the mainland in a larger amount of land, which is connected by a. So, the difference between a peninsula and a cape is that peninsula is connected by a thin landmass, while a cape is connected by a larger mass of land. The southernmost tip of Indian Peninsula is called the Cape Comorin. Bays. The bays is a water body running into a sea surrounded by three sides by land, like the Bay of Bengal along the eastern coast of India. It is surrounded by sea from three sides. Islands. Islands is a landmass surrounded on all the sides by water. The other name of island are the isles. Isles is any piece of subcontinental land that is surrounded by water. It's the same meaning. For example, Sri Lanka. The world's largest island is Australia, which is also a continent. Strait. A strait is a narrow passage of water connecting two seas. Look over here. It is connecting two seas or two large areas of water. For example, the Park Strait that lies between India and Sri Lanka. Hope you enjoyed today's session. So let's look over the assignment for today. These are the questions for the assignment. Number 1, what is the other name of what is the other name of plateaus? Which landform is thickly populated? Name the world's largest island. Hope you enjoyed today's session. We will meet again soon with the third part of landforms. Till then, stay safe, stay at home.